Hello friends, Clutch here from the Sodak motorcycle blog, and today we're doing another edition of my favorite rides. We're going to do Sheridan Lake Road again. Yes, we have done Sheridan Lake Road before. We did it back in, I think, if I remember right, season 2. Well, since then they did a lot of reconstruction on Sheridan Lake Road, have rerouted some of it, so we're going to do a little update. Plus, we got the power of drone on our side now, so we're going to see if we get you some cool drone shots. Obviously, I'm not going to give you much right here because you can see, well, this looks like a nightmare for a drone to try to get through. So we're not even going to try it. And yes, this is Sheridan Lake Road. And yes, you may think, man, this don't look like much of a road. You're right in the middle of town, kind of in a crappy area. Well, trust me, this road, in the distance there, it appears off into something special. So we're gonna go check that out. But before we do, another little note: don't come here right to the start if you're on a bike, because you'll never get past that light, because 90% of the lights in Rapid City won't trip for a motorcycle. So I would recommend not coming up here start. I'd recommend starting on West Main and turning on it from there. But anyways, we're gonna go take a look. Alright, now that we're back going, we got past that light. So here's some information about Sheridan Lake Road. So once again, it starts in Rapid City, South Dakota, and it's named Sheridan Lake Road in Rapid City, so it's quite easy to find. Find Sheridan Lake Road in Rapid City, go south, and you're gonna pretty much get the full experience. Once it hits the edge of Rapid City, it turns into a Pennington County road. And it's a nice paved county road all the way down to a place called Sheridan Lake. I'm assuming that's how the road got its name. But it's a cool little road to ride down. There isn't a lot of waterfalls or hiking. Well, there's some hiking on it, but there isn't a lot going on it other than just a pretty good ride. So and actually we go through that kind of crappy area where it starts, and we kind of run through here through the parks of town, through some of the main parks. It's where both Legion baseball fields are in town. If you have kids and you've been here before, you may have been to a place called Storybook Island. That's the Storybook Island parking lot right there. And that's basically just, it's got like just all kinds of stuff, cool stuff for the kids to do, I guess, pretty much. Another thing I will tell you about Sheridan Lake Road, there is a decent amount of traffic that runs down it, because there are quite a few developments as you go towards Sheridan Lake. But it's not as crazy busy as like 44 is, or some of the other roads. So it's a nice little alternative if you decide you don't want to drive up Highway 44. But like I said before, there is some city stuff you got to deal with here if you're going to take the whole darn thing. And I'll show you in a little bit here where you can cut to it if you're coming from, let's say, the other side of town. As far as today goes, this is September 17th, 2023. Looking to be a nice warm well, technically late summer day. Fall hasn't been too bad, or this September hasn't been too bad so far, although we've had a wet weekend. Well, we had a warm weekend and then a wet weekend, and now we're having a warm weekend again this weekend, and sounds like next weekend's going to be a wet weekend, so that's kind of September around here. But as you can see, we're starting to get a little bit of leaves turning down here in Rapid City. You're probably seeing a lot more leaves turning, especially up in the hills. But things are starting to turn now, and In reality, we're at a point now where we're almost at the any day it could snow kind of point. Like the right kind of cold front comes down from, you know, Canada or something, comes across from the Pacific Ocean, and strong enough, you could definitely see a good amount of snow this time of year even. So, but that's September. September is kind of the ultimate, as far as I'm concerned, the ultimate crapshoot around here. Which is kind of funny because everybody's all like, oh man, you know, fall, September is so great. Like, yeah, I think about, you know, how many times it snowed in September. How many times I've been in the field during guard drills in September and basically have all my snivel gear on because it's damn near snowing. Like I said, September is such a hit and miss that who knows what you're gonna get. But that's part of living here. Got, let's see, what do we got here? Oh yes, Red Rock Golf Course right over here. Fancy golf course, or Arrowhead, excuse me, Arrowhead Golf Course. But anyways, we'll talk to you in a little bit. Alright, so right up here, this is the Catron Boulevard intersection. In Catron Boulevard, although you'll see it's being constructed on right now, Catron Boulevard, that's probably your best bet if you're coming from the other side of town to get in here. Catron basically starts out as Elkville Road over on I-90 exit 61 and eventually becomes Catron Boulevard. And like I said, that's the best way to get to Sheridan Lake Road from the east side of town, because then you don't have to drive through all of town to get there. So I would highly recommend going that way. As you can see, you're getting in the, I guess, the fancier side of Rapid City. I mean, for God's sakes, that house has a basketball hoop. Like, and a paved court with markings. So definitely getting to do in the more well-off part of town, that's for sure. But it is beautiful out here. Like I said, it wasn't what, 5 minutes ago we were in Rapid City, and now it kind of feels like we're out here pretty much in the hills. Once again, one of the great things about living here in this area is you're just so close to some pretty good riding. From my house, we're about 20 minutes away. I mean, it's really easy to go on a Friday night cruise or a Thursday night cruise, or, you know, if it's nice out at night, you can get up in the hills pretty quick. And that's the real thing that makes this area really awesome. Alright, so this is our last little area of civilization here before we get out of town. This is Red Rocks. Another pretty fancy neighborhood. Very much golf course-esque neighborhood, because there's a golf club at Red Rocks right in the middle of it. You got a few more houses up here. They even got their own gym up here. And like I said before, this was all reconstructed not too long ago, just a few years ago. That's the reason why we decided to come back here. And basically they reconstructed the whole road. There was a couple spots where they realigned the road. There was one really bad spot where there was a really steep hill and a really tight curve that was about 10 miles an hour at the bottom of it, and they pretty much straightened that out, which, yeah, it kind of sucks, but at the same time completely understand why they would do that. Because you get people, and especially during the Sturgis motorcycle rally, that come here and They think they can take 15-mile-per-hour curves at 50 miles an hour, and well, it's not how that works. I mean, you can't do that. I mean, you can, but you probably won't make it through the curve. And that's a big part of it. That's a big part of a lot of the road realignments here over the years. A lot of that's been Sturgis rally driven. And now you can see we're getting even more in the wilderness now. Still got a few houses, but these, yes, like I said, we're definitely out of town now. And as you can see, it's just kind of a beautiful, nice road. Last time we did this video, this road was rough as hell. It was getting to the point where something needed to be done. So that was another good thing about this reconstruction, is this road is nice and smooth now. It's just a nice little road again. You don't have to get your shoulders and arms and everything else beat the heck out of you by you know, the road being broke up and stuff, which is really nice. And as you can see too, there's some traffic, but it's not unbearable, that's for sure. Now we're getting in the Forest Service land here. And just so you know how it works with Forest Service is generally, yes, Forest Service is completely open public land. However, you'll have borders with private land, so you got to be really mindful of where the private land starts and the public land ends. Usually they generally will mark it pretty good, especially if you're on a trail. Like if you're on a Forest Service trail and it's going through private land, you can still be on that Forest Service trail. It is just going to say that, it's just going to warn you that you have to stay on the road because you're on private land, basically. You see a lot of those situations around here, so just be mindful of where you're walking and what you're doing when you're walking around these lands. Just a beautiful day up here in the forest. And as you can see, it's not a technical road, but it definitely's got some nice little sweepers for your enjoyment, your riding pleasure. You know, one thing I worried about when they reconstructed this road is they were going to completely ruin it, and honestly, they didn't ruin it. There's still some pretty good road here, so like I said, really the biggest thing that they got rid of was that big crazy curve, and if I can get close enough to it and I can park decently, I'll kind of show you where it used to be. But other than that, it's still a pretty good road. is not the most epic road in the world. It's not the most technical road in the world, but it's just that kind of road, like, you know what? I just want to go on a nice Sunday drive, or Sunday ride, and here it is. So that curve right there is one of the curves that got straightened out quite a bit. Used to be a lot tighter. Actually, pretty much this whole stretch here was, a lot of the curves were just pulled in just a little bit. But like I said before, I think that's okay. That ain't a bad thing. I think it's actually made this road a little bit more enjoyable. There you can start seeing some leaves turning right there. You can tell we're getting a little bit higher. You're seeing more aspen trees, and the aspen trees are starting to turn. Actually, quite a few of them have turned quite a ways now. So that time of year is definitely coming now. Won't be long now before it's cold again. It's already been chilly in the morning, so I just realized I have my roads messed up. That was Norris Peak Road they did that to. This road, basically, they straightened out a few of the curves, and they also made access to Sheridan Lake Road a little bit better. Or not Sheridan Lake Road, but Sheridan Lake itself, the recreation area, better. Okay, it used to be you come on a blind corner and there's Sheridan Lake, the turnoff for Sheridan Lake is, and well, you couldn't really see around it, so you'd always seem to find you come around there and there's someone going to Sheridan Lake, and they didn't even see you coming because it was a blind corner. So that's the biggest part of Sheridan Lake Road that got redone. Otherwise, straightening out corners. So I apologize for having my roads mixed up. So now you can see that's the new Sheridan Lake Recreation Area. The road used to go way down in there. And here we are. That is the end. All right, everybody. Well, that was Sheridan Lake Road. I'd like to thank you for stopping by for this edition of My Favorite Rides. Once again, we went down lovely Sheridan Lake Road from Rapid City to its end by Sheridan Lake. I'd like to thank you for stopping by the Sodak Motorcycle Blog. We release new videos every single week, and they come out at 7 p.m. Mountain Time here in North America. So you can go ahead and you can follow the Sodak Motorcycle Blog, and you can remember to tune in then, or you can hit the bell notification icon to be alerted of future videos. But feel free to like this video if you like it. Hit the dislike video if you don't like it. Also, I would encourage you to leave a comment. But do know this, if you leave a comment, it may appear on our weekly episode entitled Comments and Beer. So anyways, for the Sodak Motorcycle Blog, I am Clutch. You have yourselves a good day.